Pleasant good morning. So, we're getting a problem with the supplemental restraint system, the SRS system. Right? So, this has to do with the airbag and the seat belts. So, it's supposed to come off after 7 seconds once the ignition on. Right? But it's blinking. So, I just leaving it off for like 5 seconds. Turn it back on, so you see it come on, and then after 7 seconds it's supposed to come off and stay off if everything tests properly. But you see it blinking. Right. So it have a self-diagnostic that will give you a certain blink pattern that could help you determine what area to do your troubleshooting. Right, so we're going to enter the self-diagnostic mode there. Right, so I'll take off the ignition and leave it off. Right, while it off. So it off for a couple of seconds. So now we're going to try it. So we turn on the ignition, we wait for 7 seconds until it come off. Right. As soon as it come off, we switch off. We wait at least 3 seconds, but we go to 5. Right, so we go on again. We're waiting for the airbag light to come off. We don't want it blink. As soon as it come off, we switching off. We have 1 second to do that. Right, we waiting 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're doing that 3 times. So there's the 3rd time here. Alright, waiting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right, so we turn it back on and then we wait. And then we're supposed to get a specific blink pattern. Right, so it go on, off, 1, 2, off, on, 1, 2. Right. So it's staying on for a couple of seconds, coming off, and then blinking twice. Right? So in the service manual, we'll have that code, so we'll know what that code we'll know what that blink pattern represents, right? So that is using the self-diagnostic to figure out what it is. Right. The other option, you just use the scan tool and see if it pick up any codes. Right. So we're on the scan tool there. There's our launch. So we're going for diagnose 16-pin system selection. And we want to go to we're going in restraints. And this one only have the airbag. Right, so you want to read the default code. So it have a pass and present. Right? So we're going to clear the code. Just to see in case if it's an intermittent problem. Right, so it's still blinking there. So I'll turn off. Wait a couple seconds. Turn it back on. So it's still blinking. So if we read the code, let's come back. Right, so we back at it. It looked like it's the clock spring. Not bad. Now we're not even getting no horn, but for time's sake, I'm going to change the clock spring and see if we get through. Right? So I have like less than an hour to do that. Right, so it's recommended once you're doing anything with the airbag to disconnect the battery for at least 3 minutes. Right? Disconnect both poles, negative and positive. So battery disconnected. So we're going to wait 3 minutes, but by the time we're waiting, we're going to take down the steering and stuff. Right, so we raise off the front cover, this piece here, the top cover. Right, the bottom cover have one, I think 2 torques. Alright, so we're taking out them 2. One, two. Alright, so yeah, the 2 torques there. Alright. Right. So we take out this piece here. There's the jack here. Right. So we had to scrap down the whole assembly. So you have to take out. You have to take out this little flap here. One, T to T security torques. On the next side I have a similar one, and then on the bottom I have this one here where you can see the jacks for the horn and everything. Right, so we have the T to T torques in the impact. We want to make sure that the steering wheel center as well. Right, so this one out, and then we go in on the next side and do the same thing. Right, steering wheel center, 2 nuts out. Right, so this is the airbag. So we have to unjack it. Right, and take out a nut there to take out the steering. Right, so the airbag out, and now we're going to take out the steering. This here is a 19. Right, So I'm going to need my both hands. Right, so the 19 out, and if we watch, we see the shaft line up with that groove on the steering there. Right, so it's now to take out the steering. Right, so lucky for me, I didn't have to use no puller to pull out the steering. Right, so I just pull it with my hand firmly and it came out. Right, so now we reach the clock spring. Right, so it looks like this is the bad boy that giving trouble. So it have 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 torques to take it out. Right, the torques that taken out the is T20. So 4 T20 torques. Right. So the clock spring out. We just need to take out this jack here and try the new one and see what's going on. Alright, so to take out this piece of the harness here, this lock here, if you watch it, just slide it, right, and then you will see the yellow thing there. You take a screwdriver or something and just prise it and pull it. Alright, so just press it in. Take a screwdriver, press it in there and it's going to work, and just pull out the jack. Right? And we're going and jacking this new one. Right, so reverse, jack it in, and then slide it. Right? And then we line up the spiral. Right. Right, so the line up the spiral, we're making sure that it's center. No, we're not going too rough, so we go checking and see without playing. You want to make sure the horn working first, and then we'll move forward. Right. So far, the horn, I hook it back up, the horn working. Right, so we screw back up the 4 screws, the spiral, the clock spring center. Right, and we see this little white dowel here. Have to go inside this space there. Right, so we're lining up there and there. Right, making sure the dowel line up. And we just have to turn the clock spring in the back a little bit to line up the dowel properly. Right, so you see the dowel in, we line up there and put a jack in. One working, right? So the only thing now is to solder the wires. It's a foreign use clock spring I buy, so I have to solder the airbag wires. So I have to cut it from this clock spring and solder it there. So just to put back on the 19 nut and tighten up, but I leave the steering so far a while because I have to make a turn and I wouldn't have time to solder the wires and everything. So the steering back on, one jack in, right? We just had to hook up these two wires to the jack for the airbag, and hopefully the airbag light should clear. So I'm going to take back off the battery and see about connecting the wires for the airbag. Right, so I joined the two wires temporarily there to make sure that the spiral working. So far so good. Right, I'm leaving it temporary. So I'm just going and put some tape on it. I have 7 days warranty, so I'll run it with some tape for the 7 days, and once it passes 7 days, then I will solder, put some heat shrink. Right, so I didn't get to show this part. So this lock here, this black piece is a lock, so you have to raise this black piece. If you have fingernails, you might be able to raise it. Right, if you watch it from the front, you could raise it there. If you watch it, you'll see it. You'll see it risen. And then when you push it in, it will lock. Right, so I just take back out the airbag. Just say when you're resting it down, always rest it down with the airbag facing up. So in case if it deploy, this metal piece wouldn't damage anybody. So that's just for safety precaution. Right, so I go in and run some tape on it and mount back up everything and put back on the battery. Alright, so we tape off the airbag wires temporarily until the warranty period. Right, so we see the jack, the lock raise. Right, so battery still disconnected. Right, so alright, press it in and then press down the lock. Right, and so we just have to do some cable management. Pull the cables back a little bit, clip it inside there. Right. And that resting inside there. Then we put back in the 2 screws on the side. That's screw number 1. Screw number 2. Right, and then we tighten it, hook back up the battery, and we good to go. I might have to clear the airbag code again, so I had disconnect it. So I'll see when I start it back up. Right, so we hook back up the battery. Positive, negative. Right, and then we tightening them up. Right, so we starting here now. Right, so far so good. No airbag light, horn working. Right, keep all your posted. Right, so there's the old clock spring. There's the harness I get from the when I buy the foreign used one. So I go into just do some continuity testing to see if the ribbon inside the clock spring had burst. Only one pin in this, working with the horn, and two wires is the airbag. Right, so we have the multimeter set up, negative there, and then we have our back probe here, and we checking for continuity. So you probe the horn. Well, I'll back probe it because probe like enough fitting in. So right, so back probe, orange, nothing. And back probe the cream and then the brown. Back probe the cream, nothing. Now to the brown. Back probe the brown, nothing as well. So we checking out the airbag, nothing. Right, switching it to the yellow. Nothing. Right, switch it to the second yellow. The first yellow was yellow and black. Nothing. Right, so that showed that the spiral, the cable inside it itself was damaged. So taking apart the spiral with the clock spring to see how it is. And so I take off this cover. You're not supposed to do this. Right, but because this one not working, I just scrapping it down to see how it's working. So I just prise out this cover. You see where the wires for the jack soldered on. Right? And when we raise this one, you see the ribbon. So as you raise it, you see in the ribbon cable. Alright, so I gotta do some more scrapping. Right, so we take out this lock from inside here that was keeping this stop piece on. Right, so take out the top piece. And we see, and this wire here. And if we watch, like we see right here where it look like where the brake occur. So there's where the problem lies, in this one. Right, so it has this long ribbon that will allow the steering to turn both directions. And that is basically inside of how the clock spring or the spiral for the Y11 AD is. So there's a visual on how the clock spring does work. Alright, so this cover will go on top, where these wires will pass through this hole here. Alright? When that piece turning with the steering wheel, it will either unravel the cable right, so it will either unravel the cable and then it will reach like a limit, right, or it will wind up the cable. Alright, so as it turn, and again it's not infinite, so it will reach a point where it just reach its limit, and basically that is how the clock spring or the spiral does work. Right, so ravel up as it turn one way. Right, so if you over tighten, it could stretch this and it could cause damage. And then in the same way, if you over unwind, it could cause breakage in the other direction. And that's it. The clock spring, or the understanding how the clock spring work.